Hey guys, welcome back to another week of current events. Hope you liked last week at the Robert E. Lee stuff. I thought it was pretty fun. And so this week I thought what we would do is a topic that a lot of you could be interested in, especially if you're a Bernie Sanders supporter and people your age like, is the idea of free college. And so I thought we would talk about that. And so I'm just going to give you some pros and cons of free college tuition, and if college should be free here in the U.S. And you can kind of figure out if you think that's something you agree with, don't agree with, and if you would support. Because I'm guessing in 2018, 2020, during the president election and congressional elections in 2018, we're going to hear a little bit about this topic, and maybe you can have some ideas. So here's some reasons why it should be free. Okay, well, people would be more productive. People would have more money because they'd have more jobs and be able to have more jobs, and because they're more educated. So you wouldn't have to worry about people not being able to get jobs because of education, because everyone should have it, right? And because there are more jobs, or people are able to have more jobs, there should be more money in the economy, and that would be good for business owners, and that would also be good for the government, because the government makes money off taxes, right? And if you have people working, they're hopefully buying stuff, which is like sales tax and income tax. So hopefully that kind of helps paying for the college to begin with, right? Because there's more tax money out there. Also, it would help low income students who feel like they can't go to college because they can't afford it. It would help people maybe from dropping out of college because it's free, so they don't have to worry about paying for it. It would also maybe help people go to the college that they want, because I could be really, really, really smart, but I can't afford to go to Harvard, and so I'm not going to try to go to Harvard or a school like that. You get my point. And you could also pick that major you enjoy. So I really, 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 really love zebras and dinosaurs, but I'm not going to pick a job studying zebras and dinosaurs because I wouldn't make money. I wouldn't make money at all. And teaching, I make money. Some would say not very much money. Whatever. But, teaching, I like teaching. And so that's a job, and I know I can make money doing it, right? Or being a doctor or whatever, nurse, you're going to make money. So you go into those kind of professions. So, the government can help pay for it, right? And it's going to help the economy. It's going to maybe make our economy better because we're going to have more prepared workers. We're going to have more tax money, more jobs, all that great stuff. And how are they going to afford it? Well, they're going to tax the rich. The top 1% of the country does own most of the money, or a lot of the money. They can afford it. And it's going to help make people equal in the long run. So we can tax the rich. We can cut programs in the government. We could cut military spending maybe. Maybe we don't need to be spending so much money on the military, and focus here on home and help each other and our citizens here. Okay, and the most important issue I'd probably say would be equality, right? If your dad's rich and your dad's poor, the rich dad, he can probably afford a better education for his kids, or rich mom could afford better education for her kids than this person over here who can't. And is that equal? All right, well, that's pros. Some cons would be this, why we shouldn't have it. Well, number one is cost, right? You can't tax everybody all the time, right? The top 1% already pays most of the tax. If you tax them, they're going to leave. We see that with states that tax high, like New York, California, Illinois. They have people leaving those states. They go to places like Florida, like Texas, with low taxes. So the rich do that because they could. They have the money to do it. All right. Also, even if you took all the money from the top 1%, you can only run Medicare, which is like a health program for elderly people, for 3 years. So to think that you could run college forever off that money isn't true, probably, right? Also, you'd still have to buy your supplies and pay for your food and stuff, so you're still going to have loans, or maybe. Okay, so it's not going to be totally free. And if you're not having to pay for college, maybe you're not learning how to handle money. And so maybe it's good because it makes you budget and save and learn, and maybe that's a tool. All right. Also, colleges would need to expand, and because of that, they might have waiting lists. And if they don't have waiting lists to get in, now they're needing more money to expand. And if there's 20,000 more teachers right now, it'd be harder to get jobs, because what happens if the teaching jobs didn't expand? So now you have more people with degrees and less jobs, and that's going to make it harder for you to get a job. All right. And then maybe you'd even need more than one degree, because what happens if that happened? And then you'd have to go to school over and over and over again. And there's also less money in the economy because if the government's taking money from me, I'm going to have less money to spend. All right. And it could also maybe be a waste of money if people didn't finish, right? So if people don't finish, you're paying all this money for them to go to school and they're not even going to finish. All right. And my last point that I can think of is most well-educated countries do not have it. All right. Some do. And that could be something you could look up, and look into. It's like those countries that do, but Japan doesn't, China doesn't, I'm pretty sure. The US doesn't, Canada doesn't. Like a lot of the well-developed England, all right, countries don't have it, but they're powerhouses economically. And so is it really needed? To be that powerhouse economic power, does it need to be free college? And why do these countries that have it, why aren't they? All right.